I had double D's in high school. And then I had a baby a few years later. And then they were not looking very amazing. And I was like, I got to get this fixed. I actually went to Mexico to save money. I went to Tijuana because I wasn't doing OF at the time. So I couldn't afford to, like, I had to go somewhere I could afford. And then immediately I went home. I had double D's in
Ooh, this video has come onto your For You page because you are meant to meet me. Yes. Now, without sounding really cringe, I just want to.
You have two strategies to get something out of men. First strategy.
What is the difference?
What the hell, dude? Why did you move the door?
I didn't move the door.
Hey, where is my dog?
Does anyone else find it hard to make friends in Toronto? Hey, I'm Epiphany, and I just quit my corporate job to pursue something I'm really passionate about, creating community in Toronto and exploring new hobbies. I moved to Toronto not too long ago and found some of my best friends by putting myself out there and learning new hobbies. So if you're sick of your current routine, come check out one of my upcoming workshops, linked in my bio, where you'll get to chat and laugh alongside others craving the same kind of connection. Follow along with me as my small business gains traction and to stay in the loop on upcoming hip workshops in Toronto. Feel free to drop project suggestions too. I'd love to bring in your ideas. Stay crafty, y'all. Does anyone else find it?
We are bored. We're all bored now. But has it ever occurred to you, Wally, that the process that creates this boredom that we see in the world now may very well be a self-perpetuating, unconscious form of brainwashing created by a world totalitarian government based on money, and that all of this is much more dangerous than one thinks, and it's not just a question of individual survival, Wally, but that somebody who's bored is asleep, and somebody who's asleep will not say no. I met this man whom I greatly admire. He's a Swedish physicist, Gustav Bjornstrand, and he told me that he no longer watches television, he doesn't read newspapers, and he doesn't read magazines. He's completely cut them out of his life because he really does feel that we're living in some kind of Orwellian nightmare now, and that everything that you hear now contributes to turning you into a robot. I met this extraordinary English tree expert who had devoted his life to saving trees. And when I met him at Findhorn, he said to me, "Where are you from?" And I said, "New York." He said, "New York, yes, that's a very interesting place. Do you know a lot of New Yorkers who keep talking about the fact that they want to leave but never do?" And I said, "Oh, yes." And he said, "Why do you think they don't leave?" I gave him different banal theories. He said, "Oh, I don't think it's that way at all." He said, "I think that New York is the new model for the new concentration camp, where the camp has been built by the inmates themselves, and the inmates are the guards, and they have this pride in this thing they've built. They've built their own prison, and so they exist in a state of schizophrenia, where they are both guards and prisoners, and as a result, they no longer have, having been lobotomized, the capacity to leave the prison they've made, or to even see it as a prison." And then he went into his pocket and he took out a seed for a tree and he said, "This is a pine tree." He put it in my hand and he said, "Escape before it's too late." We are bored. We're all.
Let's talk about sluts. If you've seen Love Overboard, you already know the deal. And guys, I'm saying this with love, but I'm a little disappointed in girl world right now. The slut shaming I'm seeing online right now is kind of gross. And what's most shocking is that it's all coming from women. Now, Val is too sweet and mature to defend herself, but fortunately, I'm not. The main thing that people seem to have an issue with is that she hooked up on the first date. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I know a lot of people who have done that, including myself. If you haven't sucked dick on the first date, you're lying. And frankly, the hate she's getting probably stems from the fact that there's absolutely nothing else to hate on her for. While people are in her comments calling her woman-hating names and including people on the show, Val has never said anything mean about anybody, on or off camera. Val stayed focused on her relationship, she minded her own business, and frankly, she moved with more maturity and grace than anybody on the show. Also, let's not forget that this was a dating show. The whole idea of the show is literally to find the person that you have the best connection with and go for it quickly. And remember, that connection goes both ways. David was very clear about how he felt about her early on. And if you listen, he literally said Val was his dream girl before even knowing that she existed. So I find it really strange that the accountability is landing on her. And the same people throwing around the word girl's girl are the people who are in her comments tearing down a woman who acted on her feelings. To me, that kind of defeats the point of being a girl's girl. And honestly, if you've never made a questionable decision for somebody that you really loved, I'm bored of you. I'm bored. Just a reminder, it was a show. Emotions were high. People and things progressed extremely quickly. And people acted on their emotions. And Val did that extremely genuinely. And I think it's admirable. So yeah, stop slut shaming. Because I love sluts. Let's talk about sluts. If you've seen Love Overboard, you already know the deal. And guys, I'm saying this with love, but I'm a little disappointed in girl world right now. The slut shaming I'm seeing online right now is kind of gross. And what's most
Stop bothering me. I don't even like my job. Karens, shut the fuck up. Vegans, shut the fuck up. Babies, shut the fuck up. Everyone needs to shut the fuck up. Putin, shut the fuck up. War, shut the fuck up. Dinosaurs, shut the fuck up. Everyone needs to shut the fuck up. Traffic, shut the fuck up. People, shut the fuck up. Groceries, shut the fuck up. Everyone needs to shut the fuck up. Stop bothering me. I don't even like.
We're in a unique place for our lifetime, right? But it's not unprecedented. I go back and forth, and anytime that I start to get really nervous about the state of the industry, film, television, I have to pause and remind myself about a handful of things. And we'll start with Henry, right? You know, humankind, our society has gone through several revolutions, you know, and at each point, I have to put myself in the mindset of the people that were alive at that time, right? So to use Henry as an example, he's growing up in a very agrarian, as a boy, very agrarian society. And then the Industrial Revolution kicks in, right? And all of a sudden, it seems to the people who are alive at the time that their ways of life are dissolving, right? Everything is changing. Everything is new. Nothing is safe. You know, we talk about it in the film that at this point, like many farmers, generational farmers, their children would end up leaving the farm for the first time in 5 generations and looking for work in factories, because, you know, there was not enough land, or there's not enough, you know, the economy has changed to the point where they're forced to do this. They're forced to break out and do something completely unnatural and new to them. And of course, that's got to seem like an absolute crisis at the time. But fast forward 40 years, and all of a sudden, you know, collectively, we're acclimated to the Industrial Revolution, and now we can't live without the train or the, you know, et cetera. The same thing happened. So I went to film school in now moving in directly to relate to the film industry. I went to film school in the late 90s where, you know, and Eric was the same. Like,